application.
Your colleague did file a motion to that effect. Am I right? For disclosure and production.
Yes, and I understand my friend is resisting that application, which I find to be very upsetting.
That's a job to resist.
But you can't sit here and say that these photographs of this Facebook page is important and still say that the footage is not. The fact that this genocide may have been occasioned with so many prisoners dying is of grave national importance and overrides all that nonsensical national security issue that is being brought up about the position of a visible camera.
Mr. Chairman, the council is using genocide without a factual basis.
Concerns. We're going to act on them presently almost. And
Thank you, sir.
I think all the parties will be happy. Yes, Council, you may proceed.
Officer, would you please collect these pictures? And I don't know if you can hold this pen in your hand so that the inmate may be able to use it. Sir, can you take a look at picture number 1? Just give it to him. Hand him picture number 1. Get the first picture.
Sir, we just made a ruling.
He heard me. I did say a moment ago that I'll make a ruling in short order.
Oh, on this particular subject matter?
The whole thing. What
Okay,
would be
can I
admitted
have the
as-
pictures back then? Very well. So let me turn to March 2nd of 2016. You were in Capitol Block, Mr. Collison?
Yes, sir.
Look at me, I'm asking you questions. You were in Capitol Block A on the evening of March 2nd, 2016, correct?
Yes, sir.
And tell us what took place in Capitol Block A on the evening of March 2nd of 2016.
We re-entered the building after a search was conducted.
Right, there was a joint service search that was conducted that
Yes,
day.
sir.
And how did the joint service search unfolded?
I didn't get that.
Tell us what took place during the joint service search.
See, Mr. Pilgrim come tell me, well, there's a search going on. You grab your things and you come out 5 by 5.
And on March 2nd, everyone came out of the living unit?
Yes, sir.
And were you subject to a search?
Well, on March 2nd, I wasn't in my location. I go to get a visit. And when from the visit, I go to the infirmary to collect some tablets. And on my way coming back from the infirmary, the officer put me in cage and padlock me in there, me alone. And they say, their words to me was, I say I got me food and them things upstairs. You understand? Your food in prison is a serious thing. So they tell me don't like go up there, call them done, block the door before your name's called. This is what them tell me.
So you were in the cage?
Me alone, yes, sir.
And what did you observe from the cage?
What did I observe?
Yeah, from the cage.
Well, the officer told me that the prisoners block off the door. And before my name call, I go in the cage. In less than 15 to 10 minutes, them said the prisoners open the door. And then them open me and tell me go for me valuables out. And I go for me things.
Right, and I want you to explain in detail the process of the prisoners inside of the living unit controlling access or entry of officers into your living unit. How does the corp work? to block the mechanism from opening in the door.
How does it work?
Yes, how can you use a cork
Uh-huh.
to block the keys from unlatching the latch to open the door?
How could you do it? You want me to explain
Yes,
that?
yes, please.
I won't be able to explain that.
You won't be able to explain it, and you can explain it because,
Sir, what I know about a cork in the door is the day on the 3rd of March when I told inmates to unblock the door.
you've never seen a cork being used before to prevent officers from entering the living units?
No, sir.
Okay. So at what point were you allowed to go back to get your self-support?
No one needs self-support.
No, my understanding is that you were put in a cage, but you had your food, and you said your food is serious business. That's brought it to the
It was
prison.
upstairs.
Yes, that's what I meant. That's your self-support being upstairs.
In the building, yeah.
Right. At what point were you allowed to go back and retrieve that?
They put me in the cage about 15 minutes after they said the door unblocked. The prisoners coming out to take search, and they send me upstairs to get me belongings, and I do as they say.
And you came back down with all your stuff.
Yes, sir.
We're speaking about March 2nd, the
Yeah.
joint service search.
Yes, sir.
How long were you, well, let me ask you, where were you taken to the yard or the tarmac for the search?
Yeah.
And how long were you in the yard for?
The search, as you get search, you come down. As you get search, you pick up your stuff and you go into the cage, the recreation booth.
Okay.
Big cage.
And how long were you there for?
About 4 to 5 minutes.
And when the search was over, what happened?
The officer opened the cage and tell you come out and go back into the location.
And were prisoners upset because this search took place?
Not to my knowing. The officer in charge, after we re-entered the building today, the officer in charge came into the building and was speaking with prisoners right there.
So is there any reason why fires were lit that night?
Into the prison?
Yes, you had fires in Capitol Block A on March 2nd. Why was fires lit that evening?
Well, I was in the building on that evening, and to my knowledge, sir, I take knockout very early, but it's the smoke woke me up. When I wake up, I ask what's going on. Well, 6 months in prison, you got prisoners 8, 9, 7, 5 years. And the prisoner's words to me, you keep out, we waiting on the high court 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years. We getting on proper in prison. Them telling me I got a flat charge. I remain calm.
So your evidence is that fires were lit not because there was grievances in respect to prison officers, but inmates were protesting the time in which they were waiting for trials.
Yes, nobody never asked or tell me anything about phone and them kind of things, prohibited articles.
And how many times did you see firefighters in the prison that evening?
Yes, sir.
And did you see firefighters having to go into action to extinguish or out the fires?
Yes, sir.
And how many times did that took place that evening?
2 times.
And I want you to think carefully before you answer this question. Did you observe any quarrels amongst inmates that evening over who may have provided information or ratted inmates out during the search or co-chord during the search?
No, sir.
You didn't observe that?
No, sir.
Did you observe during March 2nd
Uh-huh.
inmates breaking the wall separating A and B?
Wall was never break, sir.
The wall separating A and B was not broken on March 2nd?
No, sir.
Did you observe when you were in Capitol Block A on the evening of March 2nd, inmates being assaulted by other inmates?
No, sir.
You didn't see that?
No, sir.
A moment, indulgence. So you said that you, so let me ask you this. On March 2nd of 2016, was there any hole in the wall separating capital A and B?
Yes, sir.
And do you know when that hole was created?
Come in prison with me the whole day, sir.
You came in and met that hole?
Yes, sir. Once I come in prison.
And the hole that you met when you came in, could you have crossed over from capital block A to B through that hole?
No, sir.
And why couldn't you?
Small hole, small hole.
And what was the purpose of that hole?
The hole?
Yes.
Well, the two dams, the wall part in A from B. Some inmates got one brother living in B, one living in A. So people is normally come on the hole, talk to them, got them whole thing and call, gaff and dip on the hole. But it's a small hole like this in the wall, not a big hole.
And that hole can also, if you can gaff there, it could also facilitate